Welcome to Newport, Rhode Island, home of the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Enshrined in these glorious halls are 200 of the tennis world's most outstanding contributors, both on and off the court. On this special day, 4 more will join the ranks of greatness. Pete Sampras, winner of a record 14 Grand Slam singles championships and 64 singles titles, 7 of those on center court, Wimbledon. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, the first Spanish woman to capture the U.S. Open and 3-time French Open singles champion. Sweden's first Grand Slam title winner, Sven Davidson. And the Dean of Tennis Photography, Russ Adams. Today, their competitive achievement, sportsmanship, character, and contribution to the game will forever be honored as the class of 2007 takes its place in the International Tennis Hall of Fame.
A beautiful day for tennis in Newport, Rhode Island. We're at the International Tennis Hall of Fame, just about ready for the 2007 induction ceremonies. And what a special day that has become each year. Good afternoon, everybody. Barry McKay with you on a beautiful day for tennis, joined by United States Davis Cup player and captain Donald Dell. Donald, this is always a special moment.
Well, it really is. You know, everyone here at the Hall of Fame works year-round for the induction ceremony. And we have 4 great ones today. And I must say, Arantxa Vicario has been spectacular on clay in Europe, and Sampras was awesome at Wimbledon. So it's been a very, very highlighted day for all of us.
Donald, there's some interesting categories that make people get into the Tennis Hall of Fame. Let's have a look now. This is the master player, which is Sven Davidson.
The master player must be elected by 75% of the vote, and there's a special list of 100 voters. So that's a nice award for Sven Davidson to win from Sweden.
And then recent players, obviously, Sanchez Vicario and Pete Sampras fit this category.
Well, they have to be retired from the game for at least 5 years. Anytime between 5 and 20 years, they can be nominated. They're nominated a year in advance, and again, they have to win 75% of a different select group of voters.
And then there's the contributor, and certainly Russ Adams, who has shot more than 1,600,000 shots, fits that category.
And he has to, again, he's nominated in that particular category of contribution to tennis, and he must win 75% of the votes.
And so those are the categories. Certainly a very interesting day. You can hear a sellout crowd here. And earlier, Donald, I talked to Pete Sampras. I know you've followed him for quite a few years.
Well, Pete's been special. He won Wimbledon 7 times. And this is the largest crowd we've ever had for both the luncheon and the dinners and the ceremony and the center court. And that's because of Pete Sampras.
Sampras draws a crowd, no question about that. Well, I had the opportunity to catch up with Pete. We roamed upstairs on the halls of the International Tennis Hall of Fame and looked at some of the memorabilia that Pete Sampras has donated to the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Here's what Pete had to say.
He's not there yet. He's on his way. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the International Tennis Hall of Fame. This weekend, we honor the incredible achievements of our 2007 induction class. In 1954, through the hard work of Candy and Jimmy Van Allen, the USTA sanctioned this beautiful place as the National Lawn Tennis Hall of Fame. But beginning in 1977, individuals from the worldwide tennis community became eligible for the induction into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. For over 50 years, the International Tennis Hall of Fame has preserved the history of our great sport and continues to honor the legacies of the individuals who embody its traditions. Today we honor 4 very talented individuals who exemplify the greatest traditions of our sport: athleticism, sportsmanship, passion, and perseverance. Their accomplishments, both on and off the tennis court, are the reason why we are honoring them here today. But first, there are some very special guests seated here on the Bill Talbert Stadium court who have come from near and far to help us salute our 2007 induction class. It is my pleasure to introduce them. First, the families and friends. They have seen them at their best at their worst, but they've supported, encouraged, and loved them no matter what. They have come here today to be a part of this special celebration. I would first like to ask the families of our inductees to please stand and be recognized. The families of our inductees, please. Thank you very much and welcome. And now I'd like to ask the friends of our inductees to please rise at this very special occasion. Thank you and welcome. Now, seated to my left are a group of individuals who, through their tireless dedication and leadership, have helped the International Tennis Hall of Fame grow into the marvelous institution that it is today. We have grown and flourished through the years because of their support and their guidance. Please join me in recognizing the Executive Committee of the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Thank you very much. Seated directly behind me is our official party. It's my pleasure to recognize the Chairman of the International Tennis Hall of Fame, Mr. Wick Simmons, and Chairman of the Executive Committee, Mr. Chris Klauser. We're also happy to have some Hall of Famers with us. The 1971 inductee Vic Satius, 1987 Hall of Famer Stan Smith, the 2005 inductee Butch Buchholz, (1976 Hall of Famer Dick Savitt, 1996 inductee Rosie Casals, the 2005 Hall of Famer Jim Courier, and finally our 1994 inductee Bud Collins. And now it gives me great pleasure to begin our tribute to our contributor inductee, an acclaimed and dedicated photographer who has visually documented the history of tennis for the past 50 years.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you all for being here. This is our annual fiesta of the fuzzy ball, and it brings us together in our fascination and love for this game and those who have been its champions. Russ Adams and I go back a little while, maybe a half century, when we were both kids working for the long-gone Boston Herald. Our first assignments were covering fires. You don't want to ever cover a fire. You have to throw away your clothing afterwards. It always has that smell. But we found tennis to have a much nicer odor. Russ didn't know a tennis ball from a corn ball when he came out to his first tournament, but he learned fast. He's now celebrated across the world. He's had more than 300 magazine covers, every continent where the game is played. He has a wonderful background. I can't go into all of it, but he was in planes for the Air Force that flew over the Soviet Union and kind of spied on them. He was shot at a few times. Well, that happens. That was all part of the game. He is also one of the leading high steel photographers. Can you imagine Russ climbing around on those girders to get the pictures? But he did it. He's done so many things, but when he got into tennis, he found that was his milieu. And he has taken so many marvelous photos. We've all seen them, even though we might not have known. He took them everywhere, everywhere he went. And he was also a photographer in haute couture in Paris, taking the models. His wife, Betty, was pretty tolerant.